Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sip and Talk. Ready to dive into this whole zoning out thing?
Oh yeah.
Because honestly, between work and social media and like remembering to water my plant, my brain feels like it's running a marathon every day.
You and me both.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I was reading this research from Stanford. And apparently even brief digital breaks can like significantly reduce those stress hormones.
Oh, really?
Just putting your phone down for like an hour can make a huge difference.
Wait, seriously? Because I tried that digital detox thing last week, and I swear I lasted about as long as it takes to microwave popcorn.
Oh, wow.
2 minutes max.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, where's my phone? What am I missing?
See, that's the thing. We're so used to this constant stimulation, our brains practically go into withdrawal when we try to unplug.
Right.
But think about our ancestors. They didn't have smartphones buzzing every 5 seconds.
True.
They had like actual downtime built into their lives.
Okay. But they also didn't have like Netflix or online shopping.
Right.
I mean, what were they supposed to do with all that free time?
Yeah.
Churn butter and stare at trees.
Probably.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's where the magic happens.
That's
when our minds aren't constantly bombarded with information, they can wander, make connections, come up with new ideas. You know, all those aha moments we always hear about.
So like you're saying, we need to bring back the art of daydreaming.
Yeah.
Like schedule it into our calendars between Zoom meetings and grocery shopping.
Well, it might not be a bad idea.
Really?
But even small changes can make a difference.
Like what?
Like designating no phone zones in your house.
Okay.
The dinner table, the bedroom.
Yeah.
Basically anywhere you actually want to relax and connect with like the real world.
My bedroom is definitely a phone-free zone.
Okay.
Unless I'm scrolling through TikTok before bed, which, let's be honest, is pretty much every night.
See, and that's the catch-22.
Yeah.
We know disconnecting is good for us.
Right. But our devices are designed to keep us hooked.
Totally.
It's like they're whispering, just one more notification.
Yeah.
Just one more scroll.
Oh, I know that voice.
Yeah.
And it's usually accompanied by a cute cat video or a recipe I'll never make.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's say I actually managed to resist those siren calls.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do with all that newfound zoning out time? Because honestly, sometimes my brain feels like it's allergic to stillness.
Well, that's where things get interesting, because it's not about just sitting there doing nothing.
Right.
It's about finding activities that allow your mind to wander without being completely passive.
Okay.
Like going for a walk in nature, listening to music, even doodling in a notebook.
You're telling me doodling is good for me?
Mm-hmm.
Because my stick figures are pretty embarrassing.
Even bad art is better than no art.
Okay.
The point is, it's about giving your brain a chance to breathe.
Right.
To make those connections it can't make when it's on overdrive. Okay, I'm starting to get this.
Yeah.
So it's not about becoming a hermit and ditching technology altogether.
No.
It's about being more intentional about when and how we engage with it.
Right. Exactly. Think of it like a diet.
Okay.
You don't have to swear off chocolate forever, but maybe you don't eat a whole cake every night.
Okay.
Moderation is key.
Okay. I can handle that analogy.
Yeah.
But speaking of moderation, you know, who's mastered the art of disconnecting in style? Our friend Micky.
Oh, here we go.
What's Micky up to now?
Right.
Well, he just posted this amazing video on his YouTube channel, Mickytolife.
Okay.
And I swear this guy knows how to zone out like a pro.
Really?
I just want to give another shout out to Micky from Mickytolife. His channel is a treasure trove of inspiration, and he's a huge Sip and Talk fan.
Absolutely. Make sure to check him out and maybe even share your awesome podcast intro with him once you've created it. Well, maybe we can start with baby steps.
Right.
No fermented shark required.
Yeah.
But I think Micky's onto something. It's about finding those moments, those activities, those places where you can truly unplug and recharge.
All right, so we've got the why of zoning out down.
Okay.
But how do we actually make it happen in our crazy, hyper-connected world?
Yeah.
Because let's be real.
Right.
It's easier said than done.
Definitely. You're right. It's not easy. But the sources we dug into had some pretty practical tips. Remember those digital rest stops we talked about?
Like those signs on the highway that tell you how far to the next coffee and bathroom break?
Yeah.
Except in this case, it's more like, how long until I can check Instagram again?
Exactly. But seriously, setting up specific times or places where you disconnect can be a game changer. Think about it like building a muscle. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
Okay, so like if I'm the type who reaches for my phone first thing in the morning, Maybe I try leaving it in another room overnight and actually using an alarm clock.
Radical.
I know.
Right.
That way you're not getting sucked into emails and news before you've even had your coffee.
Yeah.
Start your day on your terms, not your notifications. Speaking of coffee meal times, another good opportunity to unplug. Put the phone away, savor your food, have an actual conversation with whoever's at the table. It's wild how we've almost forgotten how to just be present with each other.
It really is. And it's not like you have to go full Luddite. Even just putting your phone in a drawer or another room while you work can make a difference.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yeah.
Though part of me wonders if we're fighting technology with technology these days.
That's a good point. Ironically, both Apple and Google have features now where you can track screen time and set limits on certain apps. You can even make your phone go into Do Not Disturb mode after a certain time.
I've tried those, but my willpower is about as strong as a wet napkin. That FOMO monster always gets me.
That's where the whole mindfulness piece comes in. It's not just about restrictions. It's about understanding your habits. Why do you feel the need to be constantly connected?
Well, one of the sources talked about how our brains release dopamine when we get notifications and likes. So it's like we're literally getting addicted to our phones.
It's true. And the more we give in to those urges, the stronger those neural pathways become. It's a cycle that can be hard to break.
Okay, so we've talked about setting boundaries, but what about actually using that zoning out time productively? Because, let's be real, staring at a wall for an hour isn't exactly thrilling.
It's not about doing nothing. It's about activities that let your mind wander and make connections. Walking in nature, listening to music, even meditation.
So disconnecting from the digital world and reconnecting with ourselves and what's around us.
Exactly. That's often where those creative breakthroughs and aha moments come from.
One of the sources mentioned diffuse thinking, our brains working on problems in the background, even when we're not consciously focused on them.
It's like when you're stuck on a problem, then you go for a run or take a shower, and boom, the solution hits you.
Brain magic.
Yeah.
But backed by science.
Right. And it's something our always-on culture often doesn't allow for. We're so obsessed with being productive that we forget the importance of letting our minds wander.
So it's not about laziness. It's about being more creative and effective in the long run.
Exactly. And protecting our mental health. Information overload is real and can lead to stress, anxiety, even burnout. Zoning out is like hitting the reset button.
It doesn't have to be this massive undertaking either.
Nope. Even small changes can make a difference. Instead of scrolling through your phone while waiting in line, take a few deep breaths and notice what's around you.
Or swap TV before bed for a book or some calming music.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey. No need for perfection. Just start with one small step.
But seriously, the takeaway is that zoning out isn't just about relaxing. It's about giving our brains a chance to recharge so we can be more creative, focused, and productive in the long run.
And happier and healthier, too. It's about that balance between being connected and being present.
Well said. We've covered a lot, the science, practical tips, the works. What really stood out to you?
For me, it's that zoning out isn't about being lazy. It's an investment in our mental well-being. Reclaiming those moments of quiet and stillness in a world that constantly demands our attention.
And being intentional with technology. We don't have to be slaves to our devices. We choose when and how we engage with them.
Absolutely. And that's a powerful choice to make.
All right, so before we wrap up, let's leave our listeners with something to chew on.
What's one small step you can take today to incorporate more zoning out time into your routine?
And if you need inspiration, check out Micky's Mickytolife channel. He's always got great ideas for disconnecting from the digital world and reconnecting with the simple beauty of life.
And maybe even trying some fermented shark.
Maybe. All right, let's dig into some of the more technical stuff from the sources.
One thing that really stood out to me from the research was just how much tech is designed to keep us hooked.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's
like infinite scrolling on social media. You start swiping, and suddenly an hour's gone.
It's like a slot machine in your pocket.
Right.
Each swipe, you're hoping for that little dopamine hit.
Totally. And then there are those sneaky push notifications, always interrupting at the worst possible time.
Yeah, just creating that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like someone like a photo from ages ago.
It's like our brains are being trained to crave those little bursts of stimulation.
Right.
Whether they're important or not.
Exactly. And that kind of brings us to this whole digital minimalism thing.
Yeah.
It's not about ditching tech altogether.
Right.
It's about being more intentional with it.
So like unsubscribing from emails you never read?
Yeah.
Or turning off notifications for apps you barely use?
Exactly. Decluttering your digital life just like you would your physical space.
One source even suggested a digital Sabbath.
Oh, wow.
1 day a week, completely disconnected.
Yeah.
Sounds terrifying and amazing at the same time. Like, what would we even do? Remember board games? Reading an actual book.
Those were the days.
But seriously, it's a good reminder that we're not powerless.
Right.
We have choices about how we engage with technology.
Exactly. And I think that choice starts with awareness. Once you see how much time and energy you're spending on these devices, you can start to make changes.
It's not about being perfect. It's about finding what works for you and like making small, sustainable changes.
Exactly. Maybe you start with turning off notifications for a few hours each day.
Okay.
Or leave your phone in another room while you're working. And then maybe even work up to that digital Sabbath.
Right.
Who knows? You might actually enjoy it.
You might rediscover the joys of board games.
Exactly.
Totally. And it makes it look so rejuvenating.
Well, I guess that's our cue to sign off and do some zoning out of our own.
For sure. So to recap, zoning out isn't about being lazy. It's about giving our brains a break to recharge and make those creative connections that are so important for our well-being. It's about being more mindful of our tech use and choosing to disconnect when we need to. And most importantly, it's about remembering that we have the power to create a life that is both fulfilling and balanced.
Well said. And for those of you looking for a little inspiration, be sure to check out Micky's YouTube channel, Mickytolife. He's a master of the art of zoning out and finding adventure in unexpected places. Until next time, happy zoning.